This is the Ceenr Battery by PDNation, or the PDNation Battery by Ceenr, whichever one it is. It is a battery that you can use with multiple different tool brands. So here's 4 of them here, for example: DeWalt, Bosch, Makita, Milwaukee, 4 big common well-known brands. And these are adapters that you clip on the top of this battery so that you can use it on multiple different tools. Now, the purpose of this video is just to test a few things that I've seen people say online. I've seen people say that they don't work on certain tools, like newer tools from certain brands. So I'm just going to try a few of those. I don't know if I've got any of the tools that it won't work on, so I'm not sure. And I've seen other people say that they will work on some battery chargers. Now, the company says they won't work on battery chargers, and yeah, they shouldn't really, because the battery chargers for these companies have a lot of tech in them to make sure you're using the right batteries and to balance cells and all that sort of stuff that this ain't going to be able to deal with. So, and that these adapters don't have inside them. So they shouldn't really be charging. So I'm going to grab a charger in a moment. We'll line this bench up with chargers. We'll grab some tools and we'll see what happens. Okay, so I've got a charger for each, but before we do the charging, just in case it blows up the battery, I'll test it on some tools first, and hopefully it won't damage any of those. I don't have any really new Bosch tools, but we'll try it on the strongest drill in the world. Seems to work. Lights are all on. Everything seems to be going. Okay, let's try it on this impact driver. All good. So far, so good. What about the newest DeWalt impact driver? How do you think it'll go with that? It's only been out a few weeks. Come on, where the fuck is it? There we go. This is the DCF860, the new fancy pants DeWalt. How's it going to go? Sounds plenty powerful. Let's try an old DeWalt now. This is a DCF894 impact wrench. Seems to work. What about Makita? Oh yeah, that's one of the issues with this fucking thing. Let's see how this goes. All good. But she's a bit tight on the tool. Fuck a duck. And here ends the test. Come on, you bastard. Get that bit off. Oh, come on. Far out. That did not want to come off. Right, what other Makita stuff have we got? There's a few things kicking around. How does it go with the 173? Better not damage my 173. Man, it's real tight to get on the Makitas. All good. Let's get that right down. Oh, come on. I think that's just not quite going down enough. Catching on the lip there of that. Right, so what have we got now? Milwaukee. The latest Milwaukee impact, the Gen 4, ain't going to fit on the Makita adapter, is it? The latest Milwaukee impact driver, the Gen 4. No problem at all. The 1/2-inch router. Lights on. Works on all of those things, so I could spend all day going through testing tools and finding out if any of them don't work, but I got better things to do with my day. So now we're just going to test to see if any of these chargers will charge this battery. Right, our battery is showing 3 out of 4 bars on the fuel gauge here. We're going to start with the Bosch. Wow, it has started charging. Does that mean there's no protection in Bosch batteries? Interesting. Very, very interesting. I would not have called that. These batteries are only supposed to be able to be charged from a USB-C cable in here. Right, well, 1 for 1 so far. Interesting. And that has actually charged it. It wasn't just making noise, because just in that short length of time we've gone from 3 to 4 bars. So there was some electrons getting into this battery from that charger. That's interesting. Now, it may not work with every Bosch charger though, for instance. Maybe the newest ones won't let you do it. Who knows? I haven't got every charger from every brand, unfortunately, so this test isn't definitive, but if you have a GAL 1880, well, you can charge one of these on it. It'd be much better than the shitty method of doing it with a USB. I know some people like that, but yeah, you need to watch my other video on that one. Anyway, here is the DeWalt. Okay, so it recognized there was something there and then changed its mind. Now, has that upset the battery? No, it's still got the lights going. Problem with this, if you overload it in any way, if it trips, you have to plug it back in with a USB cable to charge before you can reset it, which is a real nuisance. If you're cutting a piece of wood and it stalls, you've got to then go find a USB, plug it in to reset the battery. Just carry on your cut, which is enough to make these useless in my opinion. Right, next up we are going to try the Makita. Now, I'm really certain that this one shouldn't work, because this has balancing here. Wow, that's what it looks like, but those aren't connected to anything on the inside. So let's see what happens. So the Makita, green light flashing. Let's put her on. Let's put her on. Let's put her on. Okay, you can't even fit it on there. They've got a different rail design here to a genuine Makita battery, and it does not allow for the battery adapter to even slide on there. This will be something that this company has done to try and get around getting sued by Makita probably. And last up, the Milwaukee. Now, these are the only 4 I have, of course. This company does have like Ryobi ones and Craftsman and Porter Cable and I don't know, whatever else. Let's try the Milwaukee. So the Milwaukee doesn't have any lights going when it's not doing anything. Chuck it on, nothing. Absolutely nothing. Just to prove that this charger is plugged in, let me grab a real battery. There we go, green light. Already charged that one. So that was interesting with the Bosch one. I never would have picked that. So if I owned this and I thought it's safe to charge on the Bosch battery charger, I would definitely charge it on the Bosch battery charger over the crappy little USB cable, which takes forever to charge by. You're going to be charging this for about 90 minutes or more to get it to go. That's like maximum. Like the first time I charged this, it took hours and hours and hours. Yeah, that's interesting that it does it on that Bosch. It's not meant to. But it definitely is. Starts up the fan and it is charging. I should just let that sit, see what happens when it's fully charged. See if it goes through the whole process, or whether at some point it works it out and shuts it down. But I doubt it's going to. I think it's going to work. Doesn't this sticker on the front for lithium-ion battery make that look like a cheap Chinese knockoff? Come on, Bosch. Most certainly isn't a knockoff, because it came directly from Bosch. And they would probably be horrified right now to see me using it to charge this knockoff battery. Right, it has finally finished charging. Seemed to take a long time just to do sort of one dot on here, but it has charged up. So it shouldn't have done that. So does Bosch have like bugger all protection? We've got 4 different contacts here. Are they doing anything? Because on here, those shouldn't be connected. I've opened up the other adapters and there's basically nothing in them. Let's open this up and have a look. Now, I'm very, very surprised that that worked. As I say, I mean, these tool companies, they have protection built into their batteries, so their batteries talk to their tools and this sort of stuff so that they won't work on chargers, like the DeWalt didn't, like the Milwaukee didn't, and the Makita wouldn't even let it on the charger, of course. What have we got here? Have we actually got anything on here? We actually, unlike the other brands I've tested and opened up, there is actually something on this board. Not everything's connected by the looks, but yeah, we do have some shit going on here. So have they stolen Bosch's protection? This, by comparison, is the inside of the Milwaukee adapter. As you can see, the board has absolutely nothing on it. Neither side, both blank, just got a positive and a negative, and these three contacts in the middle are doing absolutely nothing. They're not connected to anything, but they are on this one. So it looks like Ceenr have populated this board so that they can get around the protection, presumably, of the Bosch tools, and therefore, inadvertently, the Bosch charger as well. There is 5 contacts on here. There's only 4 on the charger. There's also only 4 on the tool. So they've got an extra one on this board than they need. Although the middle one here is bent over, and so isn't going to be working too well, one wouldn't assume. But yeah, that's a bit naughty. But it does mean if you've got the Bosch adapter, even if you don't use Bosch tools, if you had a Bosch charger and a Bosch adapter, you can charge it without having to do it with the silly little USB. Whereas these other ones, the DeWalt, the Makita and the Milwaukee, have completely unpopulated boards. The DeWalt, I don't think, even had a board in it. It was basically just the contacts, and the Makita one is a board that kind of looks like that, but there's nothing soldered onto it. But they've obviously had to use the battery management system on this one to get things to work. So that's interesting. So thanks for watching. Take out of that what you want. If you want to see my full review of this battery, take a look down in the description. And if you've subscribed, I'll see you all on another one soon. Cheers.